From road rage to stalking an ex on social media to posting vicious tweets, revenge can be all-consuming. We're talking to the author of a new book who says revenge operates like addiction and that there is a way to break free from it.
James Kimmel Jr. is a psychiatry lecturer at Yale who shares his own personal experience in the science of revenge, understanding the world's deadliest addiction and how to overcome it. James joins us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Larry and Robin. Nice to meet you.
Good to have you with us. So tell us about your personal story.
Oh, well, when I was a teen, I was bullied pretty significantly in a rural part of central Pennsylvania. And one night, the bullies actually came to my house, staged kind of an attack, and shot and killed our dog.
Wow.
Wow.
And did you feel like you wanted revenge? Is that what this book is born of?
Yeah, it is born of that. About 2 weeks later, they came back and blew up our mailbox, and I actually went after them at that point with a gun and came very close to doing something that would have changed my life in a very negative way. And I'm lucky that that did not happen, but I've spent my life trying to understand how it is that when we feel wronged by somebody, we want to hurt them back and feel pleasure as a result of that. And the new neuroscience that's come out over the last 20 years shows that, in fact, we get enormous pleasure from hurting the people who hurt us, which is to say seeking revenge, and that this activates the same neural pathway that addiction activates.
Well, what about lawyers who go after people using the law? Do they get that same kind of pleasure? Is that wrong?
They do. At least I can say that I did, because I eventually went from that event that I just described to becoming a lawyer. And as a litigator, lawyers have the only license in society to, prescribe, manufacture, and distribute legalized revenge in the brand name that we call justice, right? Justice in the form of revenge. And that's very gratifying. In small doses, we get our little highs from it, and so do our clients throughout the process. But this pleasure that you receive from harming the person who wronged you is very short-lived, like a drug high or the high that a gambler might experience. And then it's left, it leaves you feeling worse, but wanting more. And so our brains on revenge look very much like our brains on drugs.
So if this behaves the same way, do you have to go to rehab for revenge? How do you reverse this?
Well, when I kind of discovered this about 20 years ago and began this journey that eventually led me out of the law and into becoming a researcher at the Yale School of Medicine. And there were none then. There were no rehabs for revenge addicts then, and there are no rehabs for revenge addicts now. But I think we now have the scientific evidence basis to change that and begin to use addiction strategies like counseling and motivational interviewing and cognitive behavioral therapy and things like that to help people manage their revenge desires and hopefully steer them away from revenge addiction. Because if you can't control this desire to hurt people, the only way to gratify your craving, is to inflict up to and including very serious injuries on other people just to make yourself feel better. And that becomes really the biological root cause of most forms of violence that we see in the news and that we may experience in our personal lives, and also the destruction of important relationships, careers, intimate partner relationships, families. All of these things are kind of attacked by this same brain biological process.
And isn't this the principle at play when interventionists on the street are helping to dissolve disputes among gang members and that kind of thing? It seems like we hear about these programs, they come and go based on funding, but I would imagine what you're saying gives it some merit.
Yeah, I've created an intervention that allows you to put anybody on trial who's ever wronged you, but do it inside your mind. And violence interrupters, as you've been describing right there in New Haven, Connecticut, for instance, have used this successfully to help people manage their desires. But there's really something even more exciting in the neuroscience recently that shows us a true way out. And that is that we're all also wired, although we're wired to seek revenge, we're also wired to forgive. And when you forgive, it actually shuts down the addiction circuitry, the reward and craving circuitry, the pain network, so that forgiveness actually takes away the pain, whereas seeking revenge just covers it up with a pleasing short hit of dopamine. So forgiveness is kind of, we now have this scientific evidence that backs the ancient forgiveness teachings of, people like Jesus and the Buddha as being really at the brain biological level, the thing that we can all do very quickly to make ourselves feel better and heal from the wrongs and traumas of the past.
Well, the book is The Science of Revenge, Understanding the World's Deadliest Addiction and How to Overcome It. For more, you can check out James' site or follow him on X. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ty.